Okay, so what are the advantages and features of trading the forex market? Now, when you trade the forex market, the good thing is that even if you are holding a 9 to 5 job, even when you're studying full time and working on a part-time job, you still can trade the forex market because it is open 24 hours from Monday to Friday, and of course it closes in the weekends. But then from Monday to Friday, it gives you a lot of flexibility to trade when there are opportunities. It's not necessary for you to trade anytime you want, because sometimes your system only gives you a signal at a certain point of time. That doesn't mean that, oh, because it's open 24 hours, then you can trade anytime you want, because it depends on your system and your strategy, alright? The good thing is that it gives you a lot of flexibility, because when you come home from your work and you see a signal in your system, you can trade also. As compared to the stock market, which opens only half day, during night time you can't trade or invest in the stock market, whereas for forex market you can do that. Alright, and the other thing is that it gives you a very high liquidity. And what does it mean by high liquidity? It means that it has a very high volume. Now, what is so good about a market with a very high volume is that the higher the liquidity, the higher the predictability. Now, why is this so important? It means that people with very deep pockets cannot manipulate or rig the whole entire market, because as compared to the stock market, which has a lower volume, people with deep pockets, they can make a big buy on it and the price can just shoot up just like that. Whereas for forex market, because it's a $5.3 trillion market, it's very least likely to be manipulated. Quick speed of execution. Now, provided that you choose the right kind of broker, whenever you execute a trade, there would be a delay, and you don't want that to happen. The ideal situation is that when you make a buy or a sell, the trade almost executes immediately. You don't want it to load 2 to 3 seconds, because that is already considered too slow. Right? So make sure you choose the right kind of broker. The good thing about forex market is that you can use leverage to magnify your profit. And what is so good about this is that you can start with a very small capital, because you can have a small capital, and when you have a relatively higher leverage, you can control a large amount of money with a small sum of money. Now, leverage, I'll talk about it a little bit more in detail later on in the portion of risk management. But of course, with the benefits, there are also downsides to forex trading, and you need to be aware of that. And the first one is that, of course, high leverage is good, but then it also can backfire. It also can act as a double-edged sword. What do I mean by that? Because high leverage gives you a very good return, a big return, magnified return, but then when you lose money, it's also going to magnify your losses. So that is why in trading it's very important for you to practice very firm risk management, which I'm going to cover on later. And the other thing is that the forex market sometimes has a very high volatility, especially during the major news release. You need to take note of that and avoid trading these times, especially if you're a day trader or shorter time frame trader. Because here's the thing, high volatility can cause your system to not work at this point of time. And of course, with the high accessibility to forex trading, you can trade on your mobile, you can trade anytime, anywhere you want. This can also lead a lot of beginners to over trade, because people can just open a trade anytime, anywhere in a very convenient way. And this can also lead to people to open their trades when they are not supposed to open, because it is so easy to buy and sell. That's why, especially for beginners, when they don't see any trades for a couple of days, they would feel like they have not been trading for a very long time. Then it is very tempting for beginners to force an open trade, because they haven't been making money for, let's say, 1 week, and they can't handle that fact that they are not trading for the entire week. So on Monday, they are going to just force an open trade and hoping that it's going to make money. Now, when it comes to trading, never ever over trade. Always follow your system, follow your rules, and you win in the long run as compared to people who make a lot of mediocre trades by over trading.